landing in the same month as Hazelight's cooperative hit Split Fiction, and a week after the massively popular No. Yet, according to CEO Jason Kingsley, this hasn't stopped Atomfall from becoming a success in its own right. Are you good?
You want to talk about what you just went over there, Roy? I didn't
No.
quite catch what you said.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the 111th episode of PandTha Talks. That was more difficult to say. Why was that so challenging?
I think you were trying to remember if it is the 111th or not for a moment.
No, I knew exactly what it were. I think it's just 111th for some reason just doesn't roll off the tongue correctly for me. Oh well.
1100 and 11 to 11.
11 to 11, yes. So we've got a pretty big week. The vast majority, I will be honest, is just releases, updates, information on games that are already out there that are pretty much continuing with. So yeah, that's my very brief covering of what we're doing this week. Because we've got Ready or Not, Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft, Niantic layoffs, which is a bit sad.
Yep.
Get rid of that one. More Ubisoft. Gloom Woods, which is a indie game that mixes sort of the old school Thief games together with like a more horror style of things. Rebellion responding again because they didn't expect Atomfall to do as well as it actually has. Phil Spencer being happy.
We love when we get games that aren't not that they're not expected to do well, like they're as if they're expecting to do poorly, but they weren't expecting really any, just like a sort of neutral feedback.
Yeah.
And whenever they get stuff like that, where you end up getting really good feedback, the game does really well. You get a large player base, like you can't really complain about it.
100% not, especially with brand new IPs. It's
Definitely.
Phil Spencer is apparently, reportedly, really happy with Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, hinting there might be more Nazi punching adventures in the future.
I mean, do you need anything more than just running around punching Nazis?
No, it's a good bit of fun. And then we also have the game Painkiller, new weapons trailer, gives us a good look at the reboot's guns, so we'll have a look into that as well. So, we'll start as we mean to go on. Start with, I don't know, would you call Ready or Not an indie game? Because, I mean, I don't believe...
It doesn't feel like an indie game.
It doesn't, but at the same time, Void Interactive, if I recall correctly, this is the only game they've ever made.
Sticking to what they know.
Yeah, they literally just decided we want to create a successor to SWAT, which SWAT 4 was one of my all-time favourites. It was such a blast. Also a bit insane at the time. And they made a more realistic version with a lot more stuff to it. I absolutely adore this game. It's such a fun time to play with friends. Taking it on, though, with only one or two people is dangerous. Dangerous is the polite way to put it. But I have a blast with it, I really do. The game can jitter sometimes and have a few FPS issues, but for the most part, it's pretty stable. Which is kind of what made me laugh when I found out that Ready or Not is apparently finally coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox.
Oh, it's not on console?
No, it's been a PC release from the get-go, and they're finally sending it over to console as they released the other day, which...
I mean, you and I go on about this since this channel has started. It gets them more players, so they get more funds to make more games, which is never a bad thing, and then more players get to play the game as well.
Yeah,
so exactly. It's a win-win on both ends.
Exactly.
And we are always all for that.
Now, Ready or Not by standalone, by the game as of the moment, is a PvE experience. I personally do not care about any PvP elements. I just care about the PvE, because I enjoy that.
PvP games these days, mate, are so they're too similar. Like it's the same. It just feels like it's the same thing over and over, and they can be fun, sure, but you need variety.
Yeah.
And the PvP games are too similar that, like, no matter which one you play, you get bored of the genre.
Yeah, like if I wanted to play a PvP version of Ready or Not, I'll be straight up, I would just play, I think it's called 0 Hour. Let me just check, because it's in my library. Yep, 0 hour. It's basically the exact same game, just PvP and PvE. And not as in detail. That's pretty much the main difference between them. And personally, I'm a bigger fan of Ready or Not systems, but that's just me. I do plan to go back to 0 hour at some point, but that's another time, another day. So, it's coming to console anyways, and this is a bit interesting. So, part of Ready or Not, by Focus, is in the main campaign, is you play solo with 4 AI that you can control and give commands to. The issue with the AI is, though, you're going through these stressful situations, so you got to manage their mental health and if they're wounded and stuff, or if they die on the job. So you've got to keep rotating in and out people and hiring new SWAT officers that are good at different things to handle different objectives.
See, I'm personally not a fan of that kind of style. Like, especially in hectic situations, it just becomes too much to like manage every single character.
You see, that's why I don't play like that either.
Just tell them all, wait here, and then run off solo.
No, I tell them to fall in, and basically that means they just follow me behind me and they just go into a room when I do. Or I'll just tell them to move in and clear and they'll just handle that room while I handle another. It's just quicker that way for me. But the team management side of things is done back at the precinct after a mission. So you never manage it during a mission, it's always after. But I quite enjoy it. It's quite interesting. It definitely gives you a lot more of a thought process of how like SWAT officers and things handle things. One of the most interesting things that happened to me the other day, once upon a time, if you were killed in the game and your AI was still there, you'd fail the mission immediately. I didn't fail the mission. I ended up continuing to watch as the AI was continuing the mission on their own. And
that's a bit weird.
It is.
You think you just take over the AI?
Well, yeah, but you're not supposed to, because you're supposed to be a separate character entirely. But the AI handle it, and you actually get to see them using actual SWAT tactics. Going through doors, bloody clearing rooms properly. I was like, okay, this is a bit impressive. I'm kind of shocked by this. But the reason I'm kind of covering all this is because this, as I said, by standard at the moment, is a PvE game. I came across multiple comments on TikTok the other day saying, is this going to be crossplay with PC? Yeah. Is there going to be a way to turn this off? Because I don't want to play with those cheaters. Who the fuck's going to cheat in a PvE game?
Oh, mate, people do it no matter everywhere.
What's the purpose?
I would have to be a cheater to be able to give you that insight.
That's fair. So, as I've read this, though, the reason it's kind of annoyed me is because it seems like they're trying to release this PvP mode that they worked on ages ago that everyone didn't like. So I'm kind of a bit worried by this.
But that does kind of make you question, like, if nobody liked it before.
Yeah, it wasn't seen as great, I'll be honest. This was during the early testing before the game initially released.
If they wanna release it as a completely separate game mode, it's there if people want to try it. It doesn't affect the game's experience at all.
No, I'll be honest.
You know, it's there if you want the PvP part of it, but if you don't have to go into it. So it's good.
Yeah. What people genuinely want from this game is more maps to do stuff in. I'd say more randomization instead of just being the same map consistently. Like, back in the beta before the game released in 1.0, there was a mode where basically you could choose for there to be more assailants, less, for them to walk around executing civilians, for them to have bombs on them, all sorts. And there's like two...
We all know what Rory had them doing.
I actually didn't do what you're thinking. But in the base game, there is 2 maps with trap bombs on them, which I wish there was more of them, because those are fantastic when you get shit up by them. 2 maps with suicide bombs, and 2 maps with bombs to disarm, otherwise the building goes kaboom in a set amount of time. Those maps are some of the most enjoyable experiences I have in that game. And then you've just got others that are just filled with NPCs and that's about it. Which, they're fun, but, you know, the other bits add more to it. I'd love to have more randomization, or even go a bit roguelike, where you mix multiple missions into one. Like, oh right, they've attacked this place, then they've gone on to attack this place, and so on and so forth. But that's what I'd
I
like
have,
to
I
see.
have to I have to say I really enjoy roguelike games. But at the
Yeah.
same time I really don't. I really like the idea of a game where you go in, you start the game, you're level 1, you've got no buffs, no stats, nothing, everything's base level.
Oh yeah.
You get as far as you can, you get whatever currency and special currencies and all different things, and you level stuff up to go in starting at a stronger level, and just that constant progression to then progress to get further and further in the level. There's something so enjoyable about that.
That explains why you enjoy Rust so much. You like the constant progression.
I would say yes if it wasn't the fact that I go from bow to AK quite often.
I'll never understand Rust in the same way you do.
It doesn't make sense to me either, mate. Don't worry. And I'm the one who fucking plays the damn game most.
I know, like, honestly, you'll come in on a Saturday, we'll be talking casually, and next thing it'll go, I fucking hate that game.
Oh,
Guaranteed the
I
next
do
day
hate
it's
it.
straight on.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Don't be fooled. I hate the game.
I hate the game, but it's pretty much what I play most.
To be completely honest, though, there's a lot in the game that like bugs the crap out of me and is really annoying. Sure, but that's every game. There's always something you don't like. You can't like every aspect of a game, even your favorite game. With Rust, though, it's more the player base. The player base is just the absolute worst.
The player base and face punch.
Oh, Face Punch fucking suck.
Yeah, like, the devs could really do with fucking paying attention to what they fucking created.
They
But
do add like the odd good thing. Like one of the best things they added in recent months is you can now hear people when they're going through bushes. There's a rustling sound. And the fact that you will always have door campers of some fucking degree, and if you're in the grass biome, there's obviously bushes everywhere. It is quite literally a lifesaver.
yeah, I'll be honest, that's all I've got to say regarding they had some good things. These are the
I mean, I
questionable
have
things.
the voice props one, and it's funny. You get the dancing emotes. You can make a fucking disco and have a radio station. It's funny. It's pointless, but it's funny.
I'd like to know where I got these from, because I never bought them.
Who knows?
Like, I've not played this game since the 13th of January 2024.
And that was probably the guy launched it, played it for half an hour, and then closed it.
Most likely. The thing is, I did put a fair amount of time into the game. But that
Well,
was
I
when
just
I
recently
had
hit 6K
friends.
hours.
Yeah, that was when I had friends to fucking play with. That doesn't happen.
Boy, Rory, way to get depressing.
No, I mean on that game, like, they will not touch it. Anyone I know will not touch it with a 10-foot barge pole, other than yourself.
With good reason, mate.
Oh yeah, back when I used to play, it was a lot more enjoyable. Xbox and PlayStation gamers can be ready to play the popular PC shooter Ready or Not sometime this summer. Ready or Not was initially released on PC in December 2023 and has become quite popular, with developer Void Interactive having released 2 DLCs for the game since the PC released. It sits at about 79 on Metacritic, and the game is about to receive 2 new scores with the Xbox and PlayStation ports. Honestly, I'm excited to see this. I really do hope it does well, because I fucking adore this game. And I would love to see it develop stronger, I suppose you could say. But as I said, just give us more like randomization. I want to see more maps change up the
Basically,
current
just
ones.
add procedural generation is what you're
Yeah,
on.
add procedural generation. I'm more than happy with that. Make a
It
map that
does.
just constantly changes.
Yeah, it is a pretty important thing in a game like that for it to be like replayable, because you start to see the pattern, and then the missions pretty much tend to be follow like the same route as well, and it gets a little tedious.
Yeah,
So it is a pretty important thing.
the other thing I'm more than happy for them to do, just add different variations of the same mission. Like, change the enemy types, that sort of stuff. Add things like that. I'm more than happy for them to do that. And that would be, to be honest, that would even be a large improvement. Because I adore the game, I just want more reasons to keep continuing. Because, yeah, you've got your score at the end of a level, but other than that, what other purpose do I have? So, yeah, I'm excited to see more development for it. I just hope that they don't focus on the PvP mode entirely, because I'll be honest, they're not going to get as many people as they think they are.
Yeah, it is surprising you said that it did terribly when they tried it before. It's kind of
Yeah.
questionable that they've decided to try and do it again. But as long as they keep it a separate mode, like it won't do any harm. People might hate it and like talk shit about it, but at the end of the day, you can still go and play the game without having to deal with the PvP aspect of it.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. Assassin's Creed Shadows has one of the most underwhelming endings in video game history.
Wow.
Last month, Ubisoft released Assassin's Creed Shadows on PC and current-gen consoles. And after Mirage, which had a proper storyline, I was expecting something similar from it. Sadly, after spending 60 hours in the game and completing it, I can say that its ending was one of the most underwhelming endings I've seen in the history of video games. That is like a brutal fucking thing to say.
That is pretty bad. I feel like we should slam like a massive spoiler alert at the start of this
Yeah,
article.
I think that's probably going to be the best.
The editor
Because,
knows what they must do.
yeah, but we'll leave it to them. In AC Shadows, you can control two characters. We all already know this. Those two work together, and while the main storyline can be played with both of them, they have different special/side missions and endings. Wait, what? Let's start with Yasuke. In my opinion, Ubisoft did a great job here. In the final mission, we get to see what happened to Yasuke prior to the events of the games. We get a proper conclusion to his arc. Yes, the devs hinted at something more, can't comment without spoiling it, but the ending felt great. It offered a closure to what had been experiencing through the game as Yasuke. And then we have Now's ending. Basically, this isn't an ending in any shape or form. This is bait for buying the game's future DLC.
Oh, you're joking.
After spending over 50 hours on the game, you get a 10-minute exposition cutscene with an optional boss fight. That boss fight is the result of a choice you make at the end of the game. Contrary to other games... Gone.
An optional boss fight?
Yeah. Contrary to other games, though it's as pointless as it can get, basically the result is the same whether you fight or spare the enemy. Now confronts at the end. And things get worse. I'll try not to spoil anything, but here is what happens. This is going to be fun. So she kills all the enemies, retrieves something, learns that a close person to her is alive, and begins the quest to find him/her. And that's where the game ends. There's no conclusion to her arc. There is no ending. The only thing you get is bait so that you can pay more for the game's DLC, which will most likely continue Now's story. So what's the point of completing
really
AC
shit.
Shadows? Exactly. Ironically, what you just said is exactly what he just said, except you put it in better. No, I'd argue you did.
But
So
like,
what's the...
this is something we say about a lot of games: is you're paying full price for a quote unquote quadruple A game that is unfinished,
Yeah.
and you're going to pay a further probably $30 if you haven't already paid that because you bought the special edition or whatever version they call it for the game in question.
Oh, it's the
On
special
top of
edition,
this,
alright.
on top of the base game, you're gonna have to pay another $30 to get that DLC. And watch it be, they both get separate DLCs to continue their story.
Well, that's the thing, they're saying that Yasuke was completed.
Oh no, they'll make something up. You know they will.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Like, it sounds like they're making the DLC, and these two characters that you're supposed to have played as to, like, complete their goals. One of their party is their goal isn't finished. So, is this just a way of Ubisoft going, we understand we fucked up by adding Yasuke, so we're just going to let Now go on away personally and just forgive us?
Random question.
Go on.
Yasuke is the name of the bard in The Witcher, right?
Yeah, I'll go.
I think it is, right?
I'll allow it. I know him as
I have.
Dandelion, so I'm not
There's
joking.
clearly something I've missed out on.
No, so his actual name is like Yaskia or something, but
Yeah.
in the games, everyone just calls him Dandelion, including the characters in the game. But in the
I've not
show, they
played the
named
games.
him Yaskia, I believe it was. So yeah, that's why I said yeah, I'll allow it. So what's the point in completing AC Shadows? If it doesn't have an ending, to put it simply, there is no point at all. And that's precisely where AC Shadows falls apart. Both Ghost of Tsushima and Rise of the Ronin had interesting stories to tell with proper endings. They didn't lock their endings behind future DLCs. They respected their fans, but this is Ubisoft we're talking about. And instead of offering their fans a conclusion, the devs spit on them and asked them for more money in case they want to see a proper ending. Thanks, Ubisoft. The point of this article is to warn you about the underwhelming ending. If you are playing it for its gameplay loop, then by all means continue playing it. If on the other hand you're trying to complete it so that you can see how the story ends, put your keyboard and mouse / controller down and install it. There's no proper ending in the game, so save your valuable time and watch the ending on YouTube.
Ouch.
I can respect that.
Ouch.
So I feel like I've said, like, we've got a fair bit about Ubisoft today. I don't know what it is, but Ubisoft everything decided to come out.
I suppose now that people are gonna be getting like quite into the nitty gritty of Shadows,
Yeah.
we're gonna hear quite a lot about that, and then
Definitely.
there's every possibility that there's some more information about the whole Tencent
Yeah, as
Ubisoft
time
deal
progresses.
going on.
The next one, the Division 2 next DLC release window leaked. I'm very hyped for this. I wanted more content. I'm finally getting more content. A Division 2 Battle for Brooklyn DLC is reportedly targeting late May 2025 release. Come out with that. And the upcoming expansion is rumoured to be limited in scope and retail for $15. I don't like the limited in scope thing considering how much time they've apparently put into this thing. Massive Entertainment recently promised to share more details about the Division 2 Battle for Brooklyn on April 23rd. The upcoming showcase seems as good a time as any for the developer to reveal the official release date of the upcoming expansion, especially if Henderson is right in believing the DLC is targeting late May 2025 launch. Battle for Brooklyn is likely to arrive around the same time as Year 6 Season 4. The current season, Burden of Truth, kicked off on February 25th. One thing I do like about the Tom Clancy The Division games, I don't understand how they've continued with like creating new stories over 6 years of content.
You gotta hand it to them.
Yeah, like it's a bit like Diablo in that sense. You know how they did their seasons.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Like the way these two games have managed to like stretch out. Like don't get me wrong, Diablo has done it for much fucking longer.
Yeah, they
But
sort of did it differently as well because you gotta remember they had the base game and then they just kept making different challenges with different things to do
oh
for the
yeah,
most part. Anyway, like the first four the first four like main chapters of each season was different, but after that everything was the exact same. Like the longer challenges, just getting to this level of Solo Rift, completing Solo Rift in the X level Solo Rift in X time,
yeah,
completing X amount of set dungeon quests.
I get you. Well,
But I mean, that's not to say they didn't do it well. Like it was
oh
still
no.
super fun.
That's what you want. I mean, the Division 2, the way they handle it, so basically once you've like completed the main story and everything, you've maxed your level out now. You unlock what's called the season system. And basically, it's the most wanted. Each season will be a character that's committed like some really bad shit. They've like done some really bad crime. They've committed crimes against the Division. They need to be caught. They need to be arrested. They need to be got rid of. So you're working with someone who's basically a massive dick to fix this issue. And each season you'll get a new person. You got to take down like 5 people before them, and then you take down them. The entire way building up to like fighting them, taking them down, you are able to pick up like voice recordings and stuff and logs to understand fully what's happened, what's caused everything. That's primarily how it works. If you are not playing that season, you want to go back and complete the season. If, on the other hand, you do the full season from scratch, you unlock this sort of stuff as you go through, and it actually becomes a full story. This is just if you wanted to go back into them. I really
So you
did
can actually
like it.
go back and play previous seasons.
Yeah, just
See,
the
that's
main
quite nice
content.
because with Diablo, because they're obviously repeating the seasons now that they're finally finished with the game.
Yeah,
If you're on a season that you either don't really care for playing, it doesn't interest you, or you've already completed it whenever it first came out, you've got to wait 3 months
yeah,
before you can play something different.
yeah,
Unless you just
exactly.
go through and play it again, but if you obviously don't want to do that, then you're not gonna.
Yeah, and it's just a nice little thing for them, to be honest with you. Just they basically allow you to play the main content of that season, so you can go back and play through them at any time.
That's
But
nice.
it's only the main content, obviously, so like the actual story element to that season. So you can't do any of the challenges, you don't get any like the major extra rewards other than the main stuff. But they still give you a chance to actually go and experience the story side of it, which I'm quite happy with, to be honest with you. But the main season stuff each time that comes around, you've got all the challenges building up to then do the main content and all that stuff. So yeah, I like the season system. I think it's actually pretty good. And if it feeds into Battle for Brooklyn, happy days. More content, always good. Always happy with that. I miss having lots of things to do. Oh yeah, I forgot. The Division 2 recently had a Stalker crossover.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, as this paragraph says, it's currently unclear how much longer the Division 2 will continue receiving updates. Its original content roadmap was set to end in late 2020, but it was extended after the game proved more popular than Ubisoft expected. Even though, if no major updates are planned, smaller additions like The Division 2's recent Stalker 2 crossover still seem possible in the foreseeable future. That's what I find crazy. This game was supposed to end in 2020. We're 5 years on, and it's still going. That's mental.
Division 2 is a live service game, yes?
It is, yes.
So, pretty much whenever you release a game like that, and we covered recently the issue with a game being shut down that technically shouldn't have been because you're still meant to have access to it. So there was a whole lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But technically, whenever you're playing a live service game and you pay for a license to play a live service game, they're technically giving you a commitment that they kind of, well, not that they can't, but they shouldn't back out of.
Yeah.
So at least they're actually sticking to it somewhat. And obviously, it was Ubisoft that closed down the game as well. So it's kind of like, at what point are they just going to be like, you know what, fuck you?
I think that really says something, though, about the difference in the departments within Ubisoft as well.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So, Will, are you ready for some positive news for a change? Some uplifting news?
Oh my goodness, I don't believe it. No.
Ubisoft's
Don't believe it.
colorblind simulation tool, Chroma, now available for public use. So, I'll be honest, I might have just been speaking out of my ass, but we'll see. Chroma, Ubisoft's colorblind simulation tool, is now available for public use after several years of internal use and development. With an estimated 300 million people around the world affected by colorblindness, Chroma allows developers to accurately replicate their experience and create accessible content to meet their needs. The open source tool works by applying a filter over the game without hindering performance. I'll be honest, that is kind of impressive. Over the past few years, Chroma has proven to be a highly efficient tool for us at Ubisoft, says David, Director of Accessibility. It has allowed us to access the accessibility of our games for colorblind players much faster and more comprehensively than ever before. Because we believe accessibility is a journey, not a race, we're thrilled to share Chroma with the entire industry. We invite everyone to benefit from it, provide feedback, and contribute to the future of its development. Once again, something me and Will have said many a time, games are for everyone. Getting more people in and allowing more people to play games is a positive no matter what. So seeing this is just actually kind of a positive in my books, I must admit. And it'll basically show the different types of colorblind and things like that, which you can see the differences from blue to purple, stuff like that, just basically making colors easier to see, things such as that nature. Allowing more people to play games and be able to see, and just basically it being more accessible for them is always going to be a bonus. Development on Chroma started in 2021 as Ubisoft's quality control team based in India worked to create a tool that would provide feedback in real time and allow developers to control the game while simulating color blindness. Today, Chroma uses a color oracle algorithm and can be used on duals or single screens. Furthermore, it works with hotkeys and has customizable overlay. Chroma was created with a clear purpose, making color blindness accessibility a natural part of the creative and testing process. The team faced and overcame significant challenges while building it, and through close collaboration with accessibility experts and by refining the tool based on feedback, they created a solution that eliminated lag and inaccuracies, making accessibility testing efficient and smooth. Chroma is a testament to the team's innovation and dedication. Their work is already making a difference in how we design games with accessibility in mind. Open sourcing Chroma is a proud step forward, allowing everyone to benefit from this innovation. That's always a big bonus. That means now more people in just the general game space are going to be able to access things and not going to struggle with that sort of thing in future, as long as it's taken into account and utilised. I can't see a negative in that.
It's a bit off topic, but that whole topic just reminded me of something I saw on TikTok. Have you seen that some guy created an app, or not an app, it's a function, I suppose, in, I don't know if it's like the likes of like just editing software stuff.
Yeah.
But basically what he accomplished is rotating a 2D image. So the example that the guy given, he had a little guy with a sword and a dragon.
Yeah.
And the issue was the little guy with the sword was looking towards you basically and not the dragon. So you can there's a tool that he's made that you could select the image and rotate it, and it
So
I think it generated it.
Image.
Yeah. So I no it rotates the whole character, but I think it generates it as it rotates. I'm not certain. I only saw it briefly, but it was quite cool, to be honest, and quite impressive.
No, I'd not heard of that. Niantic Spatial lays off 68 staff after $3.5 billion games business sale to Scopely. The redundancies affect the newly formed company, which launched with $250 million in funding. This is insanity. I'll never understand it, honestly. I will never understand games companies selling and like kicking people out when they make a $3.5 billion sale.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the fact that this is still an ongoing thing. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, here we go. Games developer spotted that the company filed a worker adjustment and retaining notification, WARN, in California, signaling that 68 employees would be laid off effective May 20th, 2025, as required by state law mandating 60 days notice before mass layoffs. Niantic Spatial CEO John Hank previously noted that there would be layoffs at the firm, stating it would streamline operations and allow the company to function more like a startup. The layoffs affect the Niantic Spatial, the newly formed company spun after Niantic sold off its games division to Scopely. We carefully evaluated the structure we believe is needed for a new company, and after a lot of consideration, it became clear that some roles would not be required given our new focus. These decisions are never easy, they in no way reflect on the individual's performance, and we understand their impact on people's lives. We deeply appreciate the talented individuals who helped us get here and for their many contributions, and will support them as they transition to new opportunities. By that you mean you'll just kick them out the door and say, yeah, bye.
Pretty much. Send them a link to someone that can do pretty much nothing for them and say they did everything they could.
Yeah, pretty much. Niantic Spatial focuses on geospatial AI, a field Niantic had been exploring alongside its games. It launched with $250 million in funding, $200 million from Niantic and $50 million from Skerpley, aiming to accelerate growth and scale quickly. If you're aiming to accelerate growth and scale, why are you getting rid of people?
Literally. And again, as you just said as well, like 3.5 billion that they just made.
Yeah.
And they choose to get rid of people.
Exactly. Such annoyance, man. Such annoyance. So, Gloom Wood. Now,
Oh, jeez.
Gloom Wood is a game I can't, like, fully explain. All I can really tell you is it's a bit crazy, because graphically, it doesn't look great. But it plays really well to people.
I mean, we've always said, it's not all about graphics. Doesn't have
No.
to be anyway.
People love it, honestly. It looks like a blast. I've been wanting to pick it up for a while.
It's one of those inventory systems.
Yeah, Tarkov-esque.
I mean, it's not even Tarkov-esque. There's so many games before that have had
I
that.
know, I'm making a joke. Dear God.
So annoying, so they are, though.
Anyway.
Oh, you shush over there, little fucker.
Yeah, it's that overwhelmingly positive. It runs really well. It's a pretty cool system overall, and it just genuinely impresses me. I've got to say. Made by 5 people? No, 4 people. 4 people and published by one guy. So, one team. So, that's not bad at all. You cannot fault that, to be honest with you. And apparently, its research update transforms it from thief with guns into Dishonored with mutations, letting you inject your dissected monster juice into yourself to gain their powers.
Oh,
Jekyll and Hyde style.
Yummy.
Yeah, like, as I said, I can't explain this game properly, but, I mean, I've got to admit as well, the graphics seem to improve every bloody trailer. What the... And the mechanics are pretty cool, apparently.
Blood juice.
Blood juice, my favourite. That's only part 1. I can get behind this.
Yeah, imagine there's multiple enemies, so you're gonna have all sorts of different transformations you can do.
Oh, 100%. It just seems like such a brutal game, and it just seems like a blast overall. Honestly, I am probably going to pick this up at some point, and I will let you know my honest opinion with it. But I just think, for a small indie game, it's fantastic. Speaking of small indie games, I need to mention a certain indie game we talk about quite often here since it released. How is it currently doing?
Oh, schedule on?
Yeah. So it's not doing too bad. It's still holding on pretty well, to be honest with you. I'm actually kind of shocked.
And it's still a ton of players, no matter what way you look at it.
So the reason I have to bring this up... Holy crap. Where is it? If I use Benji, I should be able to... Why would you... Yeah, okay, whatever. I don't know how to respond to that. Where's schedule 1? There it is. So, I have to pull this up because basically there was a new patch released today. So, I opened it up, I was checking down, and obviously this game's made by one guy. He might want to keep it that way. We don't know his ambitions. All we know is he's working on this game, and at the moment he's doing a lot of patching to make sure the game runs well. Well, people are not happy. Hire more employees, you made millions already. What is new? I have all the properties, all the cars. Game is done. Some competition is needed. Do something. Just let the game crash, bro. Fuck these patches. Give us content to keep the game alive. You got the occasional guys thanking them. It's time to get a team together. One band.
I can understand where people are coming from.
I can understand it, but at the same time, you don't even
It's his game, so it's his choice.
See, for me, it's not even that. These guys wouldn't even expect Call of Duty to push out an update as quick as he has. Yet they are screaming at him to stop patching and fixing the game, and instead just push content. Right. How long is a Call of Duty game typically broken for when it first releases?
Indefinitely.
Exactly my point.
It's actually gotten so bad that we now get cheaters on day one, not day two.
Yeah, true. They've been using the same engine for how long?
It's ridiculous. And they expect things to change.
No, exactly that. So that's kind of what I've been annoyed about, but I agree with this guy. You're asking for content already. The game literally came out a month ago. Touch grass. Let that man cook. And he already did push content update, which was quite literally 10 days ago.
Oh, the pawn shop's out. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
He pushed that 10 days ago.
Like, if you want, you can get through the game pretty fast. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's not difficult.
But you still get, like, average playtime out of it.
Oh, yeah.
And then you've got replayability, and it kind of.
Right.
And you've got dumb shit you can do. You go around memeing.
Right. I only played Schedule 1 with you, okay? This is going to be my point here. 10.5 hours, right? Yep. That's Schedule 1. I paid how much? About £15 because it was that pound off at the time. Okay.
I think it was like $14.75 or some stupid number.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I believe it was this game. Yep, this is the one. £60 for 2 campaign. Right, we'd not even completed the campaign in Schedule 1 in that 10.5 hours. We'd not completed everything we needed to do.
Was there not one Call of Duty where the storyline was
about 5 hours?
3.5 hours.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. This says about 8 hours. Some people say about 4 to 5 on average. If I actually go on how long to beat properly, you'll see if we go at the fastest times. 6 hours 30.
Well, there's one that's even shorter. Yikes.
Yeah, so, you know what I mean? I don't really... It really depends on the person. Depends on how... Like, 5 hours, fastest completion. So, yeah, it's really up to people. But my argument is, Schedule 1, with it not even being complete yet, I put 10.5 hours in with you, just for our save. That's all I've done on that game.
Yeah.
And there, we didn't even get to cocaine at that point. We got the barn. I think that was as far as we go. Just set up as weed business. On the other hand, 50, probably going into £60 for Modern Warfare 2 for about 5 to 6 hours, 5 to 7 hours. I'll be generous of gameplay. And people are complaining about Schedule 1.
Yeah.
Like, this is the arguments where I don't think they add up. And people turn around and go, yeah, but what about the multiplayer side of Call of Duty and the zombies? Well, yeah, but that's not particularly the content that you're playing for. Well, you probably are, to be honest, let's be brutally honest. Most people that are playing for multiplayer, and that's all they really care about.
Yeah,
but,
I play for zombies, but even nowadays, I don't remember last time I touched COD Zombies, but...
Yeah, I think it was like a year ago, back when Modern Warfare 3 came out, or something like that. Was it? No, Black Ops.
Cold War, and then...
What game are we on?
I played the newest one.
Yeah, that's what I'm on about. I don't know what game
that's because they were playing Game Pass for free.
Yeah. Oh god, I forgot GTA 5's come to Game Pass.
No.
Disturbing, tell you. Which Call of Duty game is it? That's how bad it is. I don't remember. Black Ops 6, that's it. I enjoyed the campaign to Black Ops 6, but that was pretty much all I cared about. Anyways, the reason I wanted to cover that is just to basically say, look, the game's not been out long. Give it time.
It's also one guy.
Yeah, if he wants to hire more people, he'll hire more people. If he doesn't, he doesn't. That's about as much as there is. It's shit, but you get on. You get moving. Don't whinge about everything. Like, honestly, you buy AAA games that are less complete than this, and yet you're the guys complaining. How does that make sense? I don't see the logic in that, you know?
People will be people.
Oh, won't they just? Anyways. Rebellion CEO says it looks like we want more to do with that. We want to do more Atomfall, but it will depend on whether the studio can find the resources to do it. It's nice when marketing comes back to you and says, "Yep, we underestimated our high level of success."
Rebellion. A bad thing.
No, definitely not. Rebellion's open world shooter, Atomfall, really, it's not a shooter though, is it? I
How
feel like
little
that's
you use guns.
yeah, I feel like that's a
I,
very bad description.
it feels more apocalyptic than anything. Resources
Yeah,
have gone to shit.
apocalyptic
Main use of
survival.
weaponry is basically worthless because there's no ammo really. You're picking out whatever pole like weapon you can find and beating people over the head with it.
Yeah. Rebellion's open world shooter, I disagree. Atomfall released in March among some stiff competition, landing in the same month as Hazelight's cooperative hit Split Fiction, and a week after the massively popular No. Yet, according to CEO Jason Kingsley, this hasn't stopped Atomfall from becoming a success in its own right. Are you good?
You want to talk about what you just went over there, Roy? I didn't quite
No?
catch what you said.
I said, and a week after the massively popular No, and moved on. Atomfall has done so well for a rebellion that Kingsley is considering making it into a series. Could be good for them, to be honest. Yeah, I'm sorry, I refuse to accept that that's massively popular. And you know what? I'll make my argument. Let me just... Yep, okay.
Search ass.
Yeah. Oh, it's not even in there. It's right at the
Yikes.
bottom here. So, massively popular.
For such a big title, and it only peaked at 64,000 players.
Yep. Massively popular.
Not great.
Back off, you lying bastard. I mean, I've been playing this recently, and that's good fun. But that doesn't have many players, just because of this free weekend, to be honest with you. Its highest was 14,000, but we're getting like 11k now. I'm only playing with people I know, because no, I refuse to play with randos.
PvE games are not good with randoms.
No, exactly. Oh, seems like a dev tried launching it back in 2017. That's kind of funny. Speaking to GameIndustry.biz, Kingsley was asked whether he thought he and Rebellion CTO Chris Kingsley had got the scale of its projects, including Atomfall, just right. I don't think we got it just right, he responded. I think that one of the things Chris and I want to do is repeat success. So we want to do more Sniper Elite, we want to do more Zombie Army, and we want to do more Strange Brigade. To this, Kingsley added, now it looks like we want to do more Atomfall. Good. At the end of the day, it surpassed 1.5 million players to become its most successful game in launch in 32 years, which is phenomenal news.
I mean, I can't imagine how they feel about that.
Oh, I bet they're absolutely ecstatic about it, honestly. Kingsley didn't reveal specific sales figures for Atomfall, though we do know that it reached 2 million players. Oh, bloody hell, we're going above. As of mid-April. But he did say it was bigger success than Rebellion expected. We've done a lot better than our mid-range estimates, actually. He explained, it's nice when marketing comes back to you and says, yep, we underestimated our high-level success. According to Kingsley, a crucial part of Atomfall's success was featuring on Microsoft's Game Pass service. That's good to hear. This is partially due to the increasing discoverability and having Microsoft's assistance. They brought their skills and their scale to bear on our small project, and it's done really, really well for them. So they got a good deal, and we got a good deal out of it as well. However, it's also because releasing on Game Pass provides some guarantee of financial return. Without going into details, they guarantee you a certain level of income regardless of what we sell for. Yet, while Atomfall performed above expectations for Rebellion, making a sequel remains a question of pragmatism rather than will. Can we find the resources to do it? I don't know. The idea has always been to have 2/3 sequels and 1/3 new IP pushing the boundaries. But pushing the boundaries is expensive, and Kingsley says any attempt to do so must fit with Rebellion's approach to managing budgets and its position as a developer of mid-sized games. We don't deliberately fit into this mid-range, but that's what we can do, and what we can do successfully. We literally can't afford to spend 200 million on making a game. We just don't have 200 million. Makes sense. Know your budget and spend what you can, not more than what you can. Simple. I'm pleased that Atomfall has been a success for Rebellion, but I will also admit to being slightly surprised. I played through the whole game last month, and although I had a reasonable time with it, my feelings largely chimed with Fraser's review. Atomfall has needed to contend with the spectre of Fallout since it was first unveiled, but the similarities are only surface deep. That shallowness is probably Atomfall's defining feature. It's chock full of systems and obvious inspirations, but it rarely digs into them and struggles to find anything to set itself apart. I really just hope that they build upon it, because it was good. I did
I
enjoy
mean,
it.
they've had an extremely good release. As they said, they've broken their record players and
Yeah,
sales, so they can't exactly fall.
no, exactly.
So
But
all they need to do is just work on the game, get any bugs and whatever as much of it fixed as possible.
yeah,
Whatever content they had planned for it, get that in the works, and then they can also start working on a new game at some
exactly.
point if they haven't already, which they probably have.
Most likely knowing them. So we pretty much covered this already with just the title alone. I can't imagine they're going to continue it very much, but basically he wants more from like Indiana Jones. But he also wants Microsoft to do our own games and our own franchises. So it's going to be a mix of doing, from the seams of things, other franchises, so Marvel and all that sort of stuff, any Warner Brothers things. If people come to them with IPs and they want them to make a game, they'll try and do it. But also, they do want to focus on their own games from scratch, their own IPs and things such as that nature. So it'll be good to see what they do. There wasn't much really to discuss on that one, so I just thought we'll quickly run through it. Painkiller's new weapons trailer gives us a good look at the reboot's guns, and I'm delighted to see that its iconic stake war launcher still skewers enemies to walls. Now that just sounds like the greatest thing in the world. Like, where's the trailer? Here we are, trailer. I will be a moment.
You gotta love the internet sometimes, right?
No, I don't. I don't gotta do shit.
No matter what happens, he just always manages to find a way to just pull off some bollocks.
The only time people ever see Opera on my feed. I don't use Opera for this stuff, so enjoy it
What's
while
worse
you
though
have it.
is the likes of this. All it does is like waste a minute of your time. It doesn't
Yeah.
stop people who aren't over 18 from like accessing. There's a way around it, and it's not at all difficult.
Oh no, you've got to take a photo of your ID to watch this. I'm not joking. If I got to verify age, use your ID, take a selfie, use your credit card.
That's crazy.
So this is the way, because I've already verified my ID on this account. Gotta say, by the way, already, graphically, this looks stunning.
Oh yeah,
I'm
it looks crazy good.
all for this. This is, you know what? Even though I've only got a 1080p monitor, just for you, Will.
It's not gonna make a difference. Your monitor can't display it.
I know. And you're streaming it in 720.
It still makes no difference.
I know, exactly.
I hate you. You damn well know it makes no difference, you son of a bitch.
Of course I do. Gotta say the details on this.
No, I don't know what you're on about. I can't see.
Okay.
I mean, this just gives me like Doom vibes, but like
yeah.
even more going around just slaughtering everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hand cannon, lots of murder. I'm honestly for this. Wait, is this co-op? I think I just saw...
It's a minigun rocket launcher, or what did I just see?
I don't know. Electric drive?
They said rocket launcher, and then I saw a minigun.
Yeah. Oh, what?
Some blade disc launcher?
I want.
Yeah, it's definitely launching blades. Yeah, I mean, there's 3 people in that, mate.
Yeah, that... No, look. Thank you. Just pause there. So, yeah, fall 2025. This is a... So what? This is a remaster, did that just say then? Let's have a look.
I think so.
Reboot. It's a reboot. Okay. Let's have a quick look on Steam. So I do remember there is a Painkiller game already out. Hell and Damnation. And Black Edition. And Overdose. Damn, there's actually quite a few. Okay. And it seems like it's just going to be a brand new... Oh yeah, it's co-op. Classic Painkiller series is back, battle through purgatory in fast-paced co-op action, wielding infernal weapons against relentless demonic hordes. Condemned for your sins, the voice of the creator offers you a chance at redemption. Will you seize it or be lost to darkness? I mean, weapons-wise, I'm all for this shit.
Yeah. And
Slaughter and mayhem.
basically every enemy just implodes into a pile of guts and blood.
Yeah, I'm all for that. You know me. That's my wish list. If that does come this year, that's going to be amazing. Just to be straight up, that'll be ace.
Well, it's on Steam. They say fall, so
Yeah.
At the latest, it's like start of next year is the absolute latest that it will be able to release.
And you know what? We're 4 months into the year. 8 months at the very worst case. We're sorted. Well, 7 and 10 days. Or 11 days. Anyways, so I was excited when the Painkiller reboot was formally revealed back in March, but I was also apprehensive. The Anshar Studios' revival of People Can Fly 2004 shooter looks exactly how I imagined a modern take on the game would. But it also has a cooperative emphasis, and I'm uncertain how this will mix into the series' brutal simplicity. Trust me, you can do co-op and brutal simplicity. It is not difficult. Just put me and Will in a game and guaranteed within the first 5 seconds we'll shoot each other.
Oh, absolutely. You gotta see if it's friendly fire, man.
Exactly. To be fair... of game, now there's a slightly longer trailer which emerged blood-stained and grinning from yesterday's Galaxy's Gaming Showcase. Watching it genuinely left me more confident the reboot will have the stuff, but it also answered one crucial question that lingered from the initial showcase. The new trailer focuses on the game's weapons, dedicating a full minute to showing them in grisly action. And oh boy, there are some guns I want to get my hands on in there. With the shotgun looks delightfully beefy, the hand cannon was a vicious looking electrical attack. The most improved looking weapon is the Painkiller itself. The spinning fan blade. Okay.
So yeah, it's the launcher that we saw that
Yeah, I'm very excited for that. Was always a bit flimsy in the original, but the reboot appears to have beefed it up considerably, with it flinging enemies around as it windmills through the horde. It's also empowering with a beastly looking pile driver attack that sends foes scattering in all directions. Yes, please. This game sounds fantastic. Ultimately, though, the baseline quality of a Painkiller game will always be defined by the state gun. This portable catapult that flings bits of tree at foes was undoubtedly the highlight of the original. Particularly...
flings bits of tree.
That's like my favourite description ever. Particularly how it would impale enemies on walls. I often played entire levels of Painkiller decorating its environments with my enemies like Christmas tree baubles. I respect this guy. It's an essential component of the Painkiller experience, but the reboot's initial trailer didn't show this ability in action. Indeed, there was some nervous debate afterwards regarding whether the reboot would actually let you do this. But the weapons trailer is unambiguous, depicting an enemy leaping at the player before getting pinned to a wall like a gas spill to a corkboard. Crunch. I like this person. I'm glad to see the state gun functions as I remember, as Painkiller has a bit of a competition on the old skewering front. Early access FPS Witchfire also features a state gun, not surprising considering it's directed by this person who headed up the team that made the original Painkiller. What is Witchfire? I can just watch this one, can I? A part of me feels like I'm watching Dark Souls with guns and more colour.
Apparently they say 10 FPS was the target frame rate for this part of the cutscene.
Yeah. Yeah, just go back to show me gameplay. Sorry. I can't watch that. That hurts my eyes.
Yeah, it's a bit rough.
I've played games at like 7 FPS, and it looked nicer than that. I mean, it's not something I'd look at straight away, but if it was ever on like Game Pass or something, I might give it a shot. Because it looks nice. It's just, would I enjoy it? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not something I can see myself playing constantly, but I might have a laugh with it. I might sit down, play it for a bit, and actually get quite into it. But it feels like a single-player extraction shooter, so I'm not sure. In any case, it's exactly what I needed to see to know Painkiller will be worth a shot. There's no set release date for the reboot at present, but it is due to launch sometime this year. Whenever it comes out, I'll be the first in line at the steakhouse. I've got to say, I don't mind the co-op then in that regard. I've never played a Painkiller game, but the co-op seems to be perfectly fine where it is. Some people are a bit annoyed about it for some reason, but I'm pretty happy with it. Oh, that's pretty cool. For someone like me who's never played one, obviously, it's a bit different. I've hit the wrong thing. There we go. Obviously, for me, it's a bit different because I've never played one of those games before. And same for you, Will, I'm sure. But it looked like a pretty fun game.
There's a game I've played that's like got a similar sort of style. I can't remember it. It's in my library.
Doom by chance?
No. I don't know if I ever played Doom, to be completely honest with you.
I don't know if that's a bonus or a negative here.
Hellbound.
Hellbound.
I played Hellbound Survival Mode because it was just a free to play, and it's sort of play style.
Yeah, but I bet everyone in the audience have never played the absolute legendary game Brainbread.
That was whenever I had a shit PC and no money to buy games.
Look, the worst part about that was it was me that bloody found the game for us. Brainbread 2. It's still free. I wonder if it still has a player base. It can't do, right?
Well, I don't know. You've got a tool to find out.
It can't. Brainbread 2. Oh, cool, yeah. The
5
player base is
in-game.
dead. Cool.
What do we go up to? What's the highest there? The 19th of April? 18 players. Oof.
Yeah, it sometimes goes above 20.
All-time peak, 8.8 years ago.
Yeah, last 6 months, 44 players at one time.
That's crazy.
Last year's 44. 3 years ago, 116. 6 years ago, 290.
Ow.
And then you got release day, 1,122. Well, it was 1,123, sorry. So yeah, the game really didn't last long, but we had a blast when we played it. Long time ago.
It was something for us to do. Didn't have access to really anything.
No, exactly. You gotta make do what you got.
You got to get on it and shoot some zombies.
Exactly. But anyways, I believe that's everything I had for this week. So, do you have anything that you'd like to discuss?
That comes to mind.
I ask the question every week. I think only 2 weeks I've ever received something. We shall see, though.
Are you, man?
There's worse things. Anyways, in that case, thank you all for watching. I forgot my words. There we go. That's impressive. Thank you all for watching. If you have enjoyed, feel free to like, follow, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And join the Discord, because I will get told off if I forget by one person or another.
Discord.
Yeah, the Discord. It's in the description, so feel free to join. It's where we hang around and talk in random points of the day for some reason, shape or form, if we decide to play games or whatever else.
Hey man, there's nothing wrong with sitting there talking some shit.
Oh no, we do that more times than not. But yeah, other than that, thank you all for watching, and we will see you all next time. Bye for now, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.